Collections, settlements, and judgments. Stuff no one likes to talk about, right? Well, these are very important. Unfortunately, some of us have some credit issues. And these credit issues could be collection accounts or judgments, maybe even a tax lien. It's important when you're handling these things to understand the proper process and dealing with it. With a collection account, it's important that you realize certain collections will hurt you more than others. The more recent a collection is, the more damage it actually does to your credit currently. The older the collection account gets, the less damage it does to you. So if you have a collection that's 3 years old, it's still on your credit, it still shows you owe, it hurts you, but it's not as bad as if you just got a collection 2 months ago. If you got that collection 2 months ago, it's doing more damage to your credit now than if it's 3 years old. Ultimately, in a perfect world, we'd like to have no collection accounts. But unfortunately, bad things happen to good people. I just want people to understand a medical collection does hurt your credit, but it will not prevent you from getting a loan. It's kind of a given or understood that a lot of people don't have medical insurance, or maybe their medical insurance doesn't cover certain things. In that case, a lot of times in my experience, I've done several loans for people that have several medical collections, but maybe their other collections are all paid or they don't have any. For example, a collection that could really cause some damage to you is something that's related to utilities, a light bill, a water bill. An underwriter is going to look more carefully at that collection than a medical collection. So, to recap, there's different types of collections, and they can do a little more or less damage to you depending on what the situation is. It's important to recognize which collection is hurting you the most. When you go to pay a collection, it's very critical to understand it's your responsibility to pay it and pay it in full. Typically, you can settle on a collection, but if you do go for a settlement on a collection, make sure you have it in writing. Remember, if you forget anything else and you make a settlement on a collection, make sure you get it in writing first, because 9 times out of 10, that collector's only trying to do one thing: collect. They're not worried about fixing your credit or clearing up that item on your credit score. So if they agree to pay $500 on a $1,000 balance, make sure they send you something in writing. And then when you go back to actually pay that collection, pay with a money order or cashier's check. Don't pay with a personal check. You're giving them all your personal information. Don't pay with your bank debit card. It's also a no-no, or even a credit card for that matter. I prefer you pay with a money order or cashier's check. Now you have proof of the settlement in writing, and you have proof of the payment with your money order or cashier's check. Keep those items, because they probably are not going to update your credit report. It's going to fall on you to do that. That's collections. Judgments. Judgments are another huge issue that can appear on someone's credit. If you have a judgment on your credit report, you're not going to be able to get a loan. Just so you know, a judgment is usually filed with the court or with the state, so it's going to show up as a balance. It's going to have to be dismissed or paid to zero in order to proceed. You can settle on a judgment, but once again, if you go to settle on a judgment, be sure you have it in writing. It's your responsibility to do that. Otherwise, it's like it didn't happen. If someone says, yeah, you can pay me half, and you pay half, next month they can just hit you for the other half. So make sure you get it in writing. And then when you pay that judgment, make sure you do it with a money order or a cashier's check. Keep that receipt. That's your proof. You may have to take that letter and that receipt and either take it down to the courthouse, or if anything, deliver it to all 3 credit reporting agencies so they know that you paid it and they know that you guys had an agreement. Tax liens. Sometimes tax liens show up on our credit. If it does show up on your credit, that's going to be a problem in the loan process, at least for a mortgage anyway. If you have a tax lien and it's still due, you're not going to be able to close on a loan until it's either paid in full or settled. Once again, if you go to settle something for less than what the balance is, make sure you have it in writing. I can't stress this enough. If you have it in writing, you're good. Make sure when you make the payment on that tax lien, you make that payment with a cashier's check or money order. Another thing about tax liens, you can actually get in a payment agreement on a tax lien. So you can go into installment payments and make those payments one after another on a tax lien and still be eligible to get a loan. But you have to work that out with the state or the courthouse or whoever has that tax lien with you. And that's collections, settlements, and judgments. Thank you for watching.